Are you starting to see teams play Justin Blackman a little bit differently maybe in the last couple games than what they were earlier in the season?
We got a few things against A&M that were different, and then we got a considerable number of different looks in Lafayette. I mean, justifiably so from a statistic standpoint. Most defensive coaches are going to try to take away what an offense does best first and then rally to everything else, and so I would guess that we'll see more of that in the future.
Is Josh Cooper kind of a glue guy who may not be the superstar on the offense, but he fits really well in and gives just another option that just kind of brings that offense together?
Josh gives us some flexibility because he understands the game. He's got really good football savvy. He's developed some toughness and leadership in the last year. He's more elusive than what you would think, and he's a little faster than what you would think. He's a really good player in our offense, and it's important that we have him. They're going to check him Tuesday, and we need to get him back as soon as possible because he's a good example of what we try to stand for around here. He's a guy that's been around the program for a number of years, and he's worked hard, and he's developed himself into being a pretty good player at this level.
Can you say anything at this point about the health of Josh and Hubert and Michael Harrison?
Well, Michael Harrison had surgery, and he's out. Hubert, we'll re-examine him tomorrow, and then Josh Cooper with a head injury. I mean, if I said anything, sure enough, he'd be out there full speed tomorrow. So I just try to avoid those situations, and the medical staff, they'll handle those and do the right thing.
Michael, you say Harrison's out. How long? Just this week?
Don't know. And again, I'm not trying to avoid the question, but after what we've been through with Tolu and after what we've been through with Caleb, other than Victor, knowing for sure now since his MRI's back, it's really hard for me to say. He had surgery to repair a finger, and those can go anywhere from 5 days to 5 weeks based on the recovery, and it's all that stuff's over my head, but it's hard for me to say how long it'll last.
Mike, Brandon Whedon, Blackman, Hunter, they get a lot of the credit, a lot of publicity, but Danny Bailey's kind of right with them in terms of scoring. When he's perfect down the year and he's able to go long like he is, does that add a different level to this offense?
Certainly gives you more flexibility. When you cross the 35-yard line, you get a lot of confidence in his ability to score points. And the other night he was really important in the outcome of the game. He kicks a long one to start the game where you maintain momentum because you move down the field. He kicks a field goal and keep your momentum. Then in the third quarter, he kicks a long one. When we were debating going for it, it's 4th and 6. Your percentages on 4th and 6 are less than 17%. And so you say, well, we're going to go ahead and let him kick it. And it was a 52-yarder. And I don't know what the percentage would be of coaches having the option with a field goal kicker at 52-yarder, but it's going to be pretty low, I would guess, that you would feel like that, one, he has enough leg, and two, that he's accurate enough to make that kick. If not, you just got to try to punt it and down him close. So he's been really good for us. But Dan is a great example of a guy that loves to play football. It's important to him. He works hard. And, he walked on our program, and, look where he's at now.
Are there ongoing thoughts or discussions about mixing things up at all with your kickoff coverage unit?
Well, there's a lot of discussions, but we did improve the other night. We were poor on the return, and we had 2 missed tackles. And the scheme that we had in place allowed for our players to be in position to make the play. And that doesn't mean we're pushing it all off on the players, but the first thing that we try to identify is the scheme not giving them a chance to have success. And we have altered our scheme in a couple areas to give them a chance to have more success. And so their overall grade as a group was better than it was in the weeks before. And you can say this about any game. If you take away that big one, it was really good, but it counts. The big one still counts. So we'll continue to work with it. The players on there are young. We know that. I think there's 9 or 10 freshmen now, and but they have the ability to make plays, and so we will continue to work with them and try to put them in position to have success. And that's one of those areas that I had mentioned earlier. I wish I could say that we're going to get all that cleaned up. We need them to go play hard, get down the field, and wrap up and not give up big plays. That's what we need them to do.
Mike, it's been 66 years since OSU won in Lubbock. Besides them having some good teams recently, what makes it so difficult to go over there and win in that stadium?
Well, they've had good teams is one. Other than that, I can't answer that. We've been over there a time or two in the last 6 or 8 years and had a chance to win, and didn't finish it. So I'm not giving you a good answer. It's because I don't have one. But what we're going to do is put our game plans together like we do every week, and we're going to practice hard, and we're going to simulate playing in that environment, and talk and discuss with the players what we think it takes to win the game, and we're going to go line up and go play hard. And the one thing that I think benefits, or that does benefit our team, is that they're not going to be concerned with not being able to win over there in 66 years. They're just going to be concerned with the game Saturday. And so I wish we would have not been 66 years out without a win over there. But we're going to certainly try to put an end to that.
Mike, have you had much exposure to Tommy Tuberville?
I've had some conversations with Coach when he was at Auburn, and obviously bumped into him recently at functions now that he's been in our league.
Any thoughts on him as a head coach?
Well, he's obviously had a lot of success. He won a lot of football games at Auburn and did very well, and seems to be very well respected across the country. And I know some coaches that have been assistant coaches and worked for him and speak very highly of him. But I don't know enough coaches to really talk about anybody else. I don't really hang out with them or talk on the telephone very much, but obviously he's a good football coach. Good. All right.